Hoosier Hayton Fantasy Football League Week 17 wrap-up. I'm here with yours truly and Hooley. How you doing, Hooley?
Oh, I'm doing wonderfully. Cheers, as always.
Dolly. Dolly, she having a cold Miller Lite. Dolly's having her ginger ale.
She's over visiting Casey, down from Tennessee.
Yes.
Or, I guess, up from Tennessee, correct?
Yeah, up from Tennessee.
Ain't that right, Dolly?
So anyhow, this is the deal. Week 10. Every team still has a shot. Only 3 teams have a shot to win $50 though, Hooley. Team to beat RMK, Primetime Punishers. $50.
And one of those teams
will
host a draft and shell out an extra couple hundred.
Foot in the bill next year at the annual draft.
At the official side of the HHFFL draft each year, Willie's Sports Bar at Hidden Valley.
Exactly. But listen, we got a lot to cover. There are 7 teams that can win more than $50. Should we start out with the Gautos? Kenny Marshall. The Santa Barbara Gautos, they're 15 points behind Hooley for third in points. And they have an outside chance of
getting wild.
They have an outside chance, Hooley, of collecting third place money. They just need to beat the spread against you. They're not playing you, but if they score 15 more than you, the Gautos get third place money. The
Gautos have had a lot of bad luck this year.
Well, you can't mouth off to the camera and say you're the team to beat. I mean, they were not the team to beat. As soon as he did that, it was done.
Yeah, he went downhill after that. And
beer drinkers. Now, this is complicated. I mean, look at this. They can finish. They can finish third in record. But they got to win their matchup this week, and they need G-Force and Easy Money to finish in a tie. They play each other. And then they need the hooligans over here to lose, and then the drinkers would still need to finish in a 4-way tiebreaker that I don't even want to begin to figure out unless it happens.
Oh, way too complicated.
Beer drinkers, you got no shot. I mean,
I think you just might have schlepp-rocked yourself into...
They do got a shot?
Into that very scenario.
Yeah, cheers to that one. That'll be a case of beer to figure that scenario out. Where we at? Easy Money?
Yep.
They can collect third in record if they win their matchup and the hooligans here lose. Easy Money.
A lot of stuff rides on me losing.
A lot of stuff rides on you losing.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like me this week.
Easy Money wins. The hooligans lose. They get third place money. It's that simple. G-Force. You know what's crazy about the G-Force? When's the last time they won a game? Like early December, maybe even November? And they can still finish second in the standings. I mean, they're the champs. They are the defending champs. And to knock the defending champs out, they gotta lose 4 straight. And I don't know. I mean, they're playing again this week with a win over Easy Money and a hooligan and Klein Saucer loss. G-Force, they own all tiebreakers. They own all the tiebreakers against these events in a tie with Klein. Klein Saucers have no tiebreakers against G-Force. So G-Force, any event.
Unlikely scenario.
In the unlikely scenario that
being said,
the hooligan and Klein Saucers lose, they get second. Now, it gets sticky here. We talk about the hooligans.
All kinds of stuff.
Hooley, we're going to talk about your team. You're 15 points ahead of the Gautos for third in points.
That is correct.
You stay ahead there, you're getting third place money in points. That's not bad. I mean, not bad. You can finish second in the record with a win over TTTB, B team to beat. And you also need a Klein Saucer loss or a tie. Because you do have all tiebreakers over the Klein Saucer again.
Unlikely as... let's see here. Klein Saucer is actually 14-1-1 against Mr. Primetime himself this year.
This year, the 14-1-1. Klein Saucer's record over Primetime.
Yeah.
14-1-1, and that's who they play this week.
Overdue?
So I think Primetime and the Punisher is overdue.
And He's stepping up to not host the draft, too, so he's got to be improving.
That is correct.
And Week 17 is always crazy.
That's correct. I mean, you can still win the Gal Cup. I
don't know how I'd do that. Let's hear it.
These scenarios got to strike. You got to beat Who's Your Daddy by 48 points. And then Who's Your Daddy actually has to be 1 point behind the Klein Saucers in total points for the year. Now, of course, you got to win your matchup. You got the Klein Saucers got to lose or tie. It could happen. It could happen.
Theoretically possible.
Yeah, let's just say it this way. You got a hell of a lot better chance than I do at winning the Gal Cup.
Oh, that's for shizzle.
Klein Saucer. Let's talk about him. He's been wire to wire for 3 months now. Wire to wire. But,
yeah.
Let's not forget, Fred Jackson went down, so he started losing. And then, is it a coincidence that the Klein Saucers dropped Jeremy Macklin? And Who's Your Daddy picked Jeremy Macklin up, and Who's Your Daddy used Jeremy Macklin to beat the Klein? It's just, you can't win titles when you drop one of your best receivers, and the other guy picks him up and ends up possibly...
And Who's Your Daddy's on a
horrible management at the end of the year by Klein Saucers. But anyhow, they need to stay 14 points ahead of Who's Your Daddy. They're 14 points ahead of them right now for the year. They need to stay that far ahead of them to get first in points. They can finish second in record with a win over the Primetime Punishers. The Klein Saucers can win the Gal Cup by simply beating their opponent. If they beat their opponent, they win the Gal Cup. It's that simple. It doesn't get any easier for them. However, if the Saucers lose their match, then winning the Gal Cup can be difficult, as all the teams in contention own tiebreaker wins against the Klein Saucers. Every team that's in the hunt has tiebreaker implications favoring them instead of the Klein Saucers, with the exception of Easy Money, who, it would have to snow, a foot of snow, better chance for Easy Money to collect any money on.
Worse than that.
But hey, Who's Your Daddy? Now, we got to,
this guy is unfucking
let's give it. Who's your daddy? Salute the Who's Your Daddy for finishing first in the record with the week to go.
What was he? 4-1 at one point, and still had a chance to be last in Gal Cup standing.
Yeah.
Like 400 points behind.
Yeah.
And
I just want to choke Dolly for that, I'm sorry, Dolly. Sorry.
She don't care. She's pretty buzzed.
But anyhow, Who's Your Daddy? First in the one-loss record. Guaranteed to collect the second most money this year with 1 week to go. They're collecting money. They're second in points, and they can win the Gal Cup by scoring 14 points more than Klein Saucers this week, regardless if they win their matchup against RMK.
Which shouldn't be difficult.
They could lose by 40 against RMK. They just need...
If they lose by 40, they might only score like 20 points.
You're probably right, because,
that won't happen.
But, that's about how it goes.
Well, they got to maintain their 47-point lead over me.
They got to maintain the 47-point lead over you. If they do not hold on to that, if you come away and catch Who's Your Daddy by 47 points, gives you a better shot. These are all the scenarios that's going on in Week 17 of the HHFFL.
Let's not forget the Hoosier Pick'em.
The Hoosier Pick'em.
After Week 16, I actually got a 2-game lead over G-Force. We were neck and neck for about 8 straight weeks, and last couple I've gained 2 games. That's big. That's big time.
Now, this is going out before the Pick'ems actually due. You going to give any heads up here on who you might pick 'em this week?
Absolutely not.
And there you have it. That's Pick'em news. What else we got to cover? The skin report is coming out.
I should be rock solid cinch for wide receiver, I would have to guess.
I would think you're.
And I'm not trying to be cocky. I just think it's too.
Well, you know, when you're dominating like you're dominating, you can be cocky. You can be cocky.
Other than that, I don't know. What else? What else we got? Skins.
That's about it.
All right.
That's about it.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. One quick swig. Live and direct from the Cubby Bar. This has been the final HHFFL report of the season. Good day, Hooli.
Good day.
That's good. Let's watch some football this weekend.
Nostrovia.
Nostrovia.